SandoTrini. A San Fernando story. Blinded by my father and learning about the Russians. Part 1. I was very young and curious and interested in everything my father did. When he poured molten lead to make weights for fishing, I peeped over his shoulders. He said, "Move back." But it was too late. There was a hissing sound and something struck my face. I screamed loudly and I covered my eyes with my hands. I ran around blindly until I ran into the fence that separated us from Mr. and Mrs. Ramdiel. My father dropped a ladle of molten lead on the ground, and caught up to me. Miss Mina was our upstairs neighbor who sold sugar cake and Tulum in front of Coffee EC Boys School. She ran down the stairs to see what was happening. She asked, "What happened to him?" I shouted, "I can't see. I'm blind." My face felt like it was covered with the hot peppers Mr. Singh splashed on his doubles. I was in a searing cloud of darkness. My father grabbed me by my shoulders and shook me. "Let me see," he said. My mother shouted, "Let us look at your face." My throat felt like parched corn, and my voice became a whisper. "I can't see." My father asked, "Can you open your eyes?" I said, "No. I can't." He said, "Try it. Try to open your eyes." I blinked my eyes, and I was able to detect some movement. Someone shouted, "Move your hands from your eyes. You can't see through your hands." My mother asked, "Oh Lord, what's next?" I slowly opened my left eye and rolled it from side to side. My father waved his hands in front of me and asked, "Can you see my hands?" My reply was, "Yes, but I'm still blind in the other eye." He said, "Move your hand from your right eye and tell me if you can see me." I slowly removed my hand from my right eye. I squinted, then I looked around with both eyes opened wide. At first, everyone seemed concerned, but when I reported that I could see again, they seemed unhappy. A few people sucked their teeth loudly and shook their heads, as if in disgust. Someone said that I was like Chicken Little, who repeatedly said that the sky was falling. The spectators seemed disappointed when I announced that I could see again. That surprised me. I learned that I was struck in the face by steam produced by moisture in the mold. I stood on the street and looked up at the San Fernando hill. I could see it clearly. I could see the radio tower, the trees and the patches of bare rock exposed by quarrying. My eyes passed the test, and I was not blind. That night, as I lay on my coconut fiber bed, I heard a hissing sound. The sound came from the kitchen. I tiptoed into the kitchen and I saw my father sitting at the table with two boxes in front of him. As he turned a knob, the box made squeaking and hissing sounds. He had his head turned sideways, and his ear appeared glued to the box. I shuffled my feet to announce my presence, and he motioned me to come closer. I thought that he was going to lecture me about the incident earlier that day. He said, "Come closer and listen to this." I went closer and he shifted aside just enough for me to get in front of the table. The brown box was a radio with a lighted bar across the top. The blue box was a battery with the word Barek in a red circle. Suddenly I heard a series of short beeps. Beep. 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 I didn't know what to say, or how I should react. I looked at my father's face for my cue. He was so pleased that I had listened to 4 beeps on his shortwave radio with him. He said, "This is a history-making event." He continued, "A little thing like this will change the world." I asked him how, and why, and he said, "That sound is coming from something traveling very fast around the Earth. It is a little ball with a radio in it. That is Sputnik, the Russian satellite." I still didn't know what to say. And I was puzzled. He was waiting for a response, so I said, "Yes, I can hear it." I knew nothing about Sputnik. But he listened to the BBC nightly news and he was fascinated with news about Sputnik. I knew that planes flew around the Earth too. Carried people to different countries. I knew that Miss Nora, the succonoir on our street, flew out of her house every night to bite our young necks. But I had no idea why my father stayed up late at night to listen to a ball circling the earth. Then I heard the words of the mighty sparrow's Calypso, the Russian satellite. 2 Sputniks in the sky. Have everybody hypnotized. Sparrow is very sorry for the dog that they poisoned. In the Russian satellite. https://u2.b/salau. OSC. Link to song. To be continued.